Hello, everybody. What's up? Now in Korea, it's extremely hot days, almost every day. And then seems that the hot summer, I mean, historically hot summer period, getting longer and longer. And it is not very unusual to go to close 40 degree centigrade, which was quite rare in the past, right? And then hitting like up to 40 degrees. And then because of that heat, because of the scorching temperature, right? My oxygen also getting longer and longer. Like in the past, normally like my oxygen starts from the like early July till end of the August. But these days seems like it's already extended to at least like mid-September. And then the temperature itself during the summer season also getting quite higher, like 3 to 4 degrees. And then it makes my business almost impossible because my business based on outdoor business, and like basically people wouldn't bother come to my place, and not only for myself, not for only myself, my shop, but also other like outdoor related cafe and restaurant. That's why like similar like my business, we are also experiencing kind of completely off and completely out of business, at least for at least like 2 months time. But anyway, it's a seasonality things which my business inevitably have, and I also accept as it is. There's nothing I can do about it, and then I'm just trying to settle myself, peace and calm, without being rattled or agitated about the facts, right? Which I cannot control. And then what I want to talk about tonight is how to pass over this slow season, right? Mentally not very exhausted, more stressed out because of the worries for the future, right? In my case, I'm kind of get used to this kind of seasonality, and then I have pretty much experience, I believe. And then the thing is how to react, how to deal with this slow season is completely different among my previous experiences. Right? For my own business, I have two, in a way similar, in a way completely different type of business, which share same seasonality. And then my first business, right, our own business, is related to manufacture the camping gears, right, tents and other like outdoor gears about camping things. And then that time that business is very much rely on seasonality, and then especially for summer season, actually your business is completely like off, just kind of switch off, just suspended everything, just stop every all the operation, right? Now also my second business, the camping cafe and outdoor like the dining things, right? And then it also have same seasonality during the summer season, and then my business kind of goes off, switched off completely, like just being hold, and then like my sales turnover like just dropped to the like 10% and 40%, just very minimum level compared to the other seasons, right? Other high season. But anyway, what I'm saying is I've been experiencing two different type of way of passing over this slow season. When I was in my first business, I was kind of still young and very energetic and very like socializing person. And then that time, I really didn't know how to deal with the enormous free time. And then, like, let's say I didn't know how to control the boredom. I went for any kind of meetup, social gathering things, and drinking, all these kind of things. At that time, I was very desperate to socialize myself, hanging out, people, if any possibility. I just trying to hook up anybody available for drinking, all this kind of stuff, right? It is very clear that what eventually happened to me, right? I mean, those consistent, like, unhinged way of the crossing over the slow season left me huge damage eventually. I mean, all the business kind of things, when they went south, everything became kind of out of control. And then I was drained out about my financial status and all the physical health. And eventually, due to the excessive and relentless drinking habit, just left me huge damage overall, right? And then, like, mentally, I also kind of end up in being alcoholic, very serious alcoholic. And then, like, I went bust. And then my second business operation now, which is also very high seasonality. And then I've been doing this business like 10 years. And then I have been experiencing almost very similar seasonality. And I also have gone through like this long summer season without any customer, without any business, right? Just peace and quiet, but at the same time, very hot, very exhausting and tiring. I mean, like because of heat, not because of work. Anyway, I have nothing much in my hand during this time period, right, of the year. But one thing very different from my previous lifestyle right now, how to pass over the slow season. Now I believe I know how to handle the boredom and the slowness of pushing myself very hard to into the mode of going alone. completely seclude myself into my private mode. I don't rely on anybody else. I don't go after for social gathering and activities, right? I just better spend most of my time alone, secure my physical health and secure my rest. And I just trying to toy with boredom. Now I believe I have come up with very nice way of lifestyle to deal with this kind of boredom. And then most of the time, although not much things going around, but now I can say I know how to spend my own time without being distracted to the outside things, outside events, and outside activities, right? Including human relationships also. I mainly focus on to give myself time, much more time to rest myself and to raise something like meaningful practice, right? To enhance my spirit. I spend my time reading books. It really helped to recover my health, physical health, and mental health. And that's the way I just got out of the all the debt incurred from my previous business. I once completely bankrupt. I was completely broke, but and had enormous amount of debt. That time, I never thought I could pay out all those debts during my lifetime, the remaining lifetime. That was my honest thought, but I made it. And then the way how I spent my time during the slow season was the kind of very important factor to make myself move forward 1 year more, without completely being exhausted and drained mentally and physically. And then I just trying to make use of this slow season for my resort to recover myself, rest myself, and enlighten my spirit by reading books and studying some specific materials deeply, right? And sort out my own thoughts about the things happening around the world outside of myself in peace and calm. I'll bring more things in the next video. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.